Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector here, and this week I have my very last Transformers animated review. Sadly, I still could not find my activators ratchet, and anyway, on with this. Mentioned in the ending of the previous review, I do not have the box for him anymore, and if I do not know where it is. It is animated Megatron. And he's a giant dual propeller helicopter Osprey-ish thing of fictional design, pardon me. And he has 2 or 3 vehicle mode gimmicks, the first one being the linked propellers. Yeah, it works better if you use the right one on mine. And let's see, his other gimmick involves his lights and sounds, which, by pushing the Decepticon insignia on the bottom, let me do that one more time. And those were the lights and sounds. And the third gimmick, obviously the basic missile firing action, and I'm going to fire it 2 ways, and you'll see why. Here's the first way. Which I prefer the first way, because it just involves a gentle tug on the barrel, and then it fires off. And the second way involves pushing the switch. And it actually moved my background a bit, so there's that. And that's pretty much it for his vehicle mode. There's not really all that much it can do, aside from the blades, the gun, and the sounds. And the lights, obviously. So we're going to remove this giant chunk here. And he has a nice little feature. Unfortunately, it reveals his robot head, but up here he has little hidden landing gear because his gun acts as his landing gear, and that's because it takes up a lot of room, so I'm going to change him into robot mode. Get the gun lined up properly, and yes, I'm going to have it in firing mode 1 for his robot mode. Set that right there. And as I said with the Ultra Magnus review, I do not have Bulkhead or the Headmaster unit chunk. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just a chunk of plastic. It would not alter his sounds in any way. It would just be this giant chunk that fits over his head, so I am sorry. Give him something stable to stand on, sort of. And there's his legs. Pull up the camera, and this is a nice little trick I like to do. Fold the blades. No, wait, I wanted them like this. Fold those blades up, and then they come down. And this also comes into play with the arms, because if you push these back, the arms will fold into place. And now I'm going to keep his left hand in this position because it's going to be inevitable that I show you his elbow joints also he has a weapon that's going to go in his hands, so yeah, I'm just going to leave the one arm like that. And then this giant thing here will give you the best sound ever. Oh, I love that sound. But then, what right-minded Transformer fan doesn't like that sound? The ones who have never seen anything. That's what. That's who. Well, granted, whatever. Never mind. I forget I said anything. So, now he's in his robot mode, but it's not yet finished because now he has his gun. Now he's finished. Robot mode completed. Also, for those of you who probably don't know this, all one of you, the propeller blades become his swords seen in the first episode onward. Although these swords are more appropriate for his Earth-based mode because what they are made from. And as for his posability, I always use the left. I try to use the left side, but occasionally I do use the right. I could actually make his arm go all the way around, but he has a heavy ratcheting shoulder. I'm going to remove the sword and place it back on his backpack. And make you watch. He has a double-jointed elbow of sorts, mostly due in part to transformation. He has a wrist swivel and a bicep swivel. His head does move, but I'm not going to because it's going to mess with his light-up gimmick. And if I turn his head at all, it's going to mess up the lights inside of his head. But his head can turn 360 degrees. It's just unfortunate that I can't give you a demonstration. These little waist panels can move, and he does have a waist. A very tight waist. Not sure what that says. Had to just pull something out for a little... Oh, pardon me. I had to move my chair. He does have a heavy ratcheting thigh. A heavy ratcheting hip. That's right. A ratcheting knee joint and a thigh swivel of sorts. And his foot can do that. Not sure why you'd want it to do that, but it can do that. So, he has the same cannon gimmick. It's exactly the same. There's no real change in it. But this mode's primary gimmick is by pressing this Decepticon symbol quite hard. I'm just pressing on it lightly right now. But if you press on it hard enough, you get 3 phrases and his mouth moves. Let me bring in the camera a bit so you can see his face. See his face better. And here we go.
Where is the Allspark? Crush the Autobots.
And the lights actually do blink on him for quite a while. Now, like I said, if I had tampered with his head by turning it, the little lights inside of his eyes wouldn't go off. And I don't want to mess with that at all. Because I've turned his head, and it's taken me a while to get the lights to go back on inside of his head, so I'm not going to tamper with that. Sure, I can turn Ultra Magnus's head, and his head will still light up. Turn Megatron's head, it's like, nope. Nope. Anyway, I'm going to use this toothpick, which was what I was reaching around for that brief moment of silence, so I can show you this. His little head moving. Yeah, I can just press on the back of his head Get his jaw to move. His jaw and this little plate above his eyes move just a little bit, so he gets kind of like a scowl. And I'd say that about wraps it up, but I still have to cover his tech spec from online because I do not, again, I do not have the box, and I'm sorry. For figures who don't have the box, I have to read the tech spec offline. And just to show you again his lights and sound gimmick, because he has the 3 phrases: where is the Allspark, crush the Autobots, and maniacal laughter. So I'll just cycle through those again as I look at the bio.
Where is the Allspark? Crush the Autobots.
Okay, that was the last cycle through that, and now here's the bio. And it's actually kind of hard for me to read, so I'm sorry about the delay, but this is really hard for me to read because my monitor is like 3 feet away from me, and my vision sucks. Now that he has finally been able to build a body for himself, Megatron is more powerful than ever, and no force on Earth can stand against him. He is a fighter without equal anywhere in the universe. Linked up by his Decepticon soldiers, he is also an expert battle leader without peer. He is ruthless as he is ambitious. Megatron will stop at nothing to gain the Allspark and destroy Optimus Prime and his Autobots. Okay, thank God. Hate reading stuff offline, but that's what happens when you don't have the box anymore. And his galactic powers and abilities are expert 2 sword fighter, and that's probably that. Basically, that means he's an expert at using 2 swords, dual wielding and whatnot. Genius level engineer and programmer. Armor can deflect even the most focused anti-proton lasers, whatever those are. Anyway, this is the very last review for Transformers Animated, and I'll probably either be next week. I'll probably have the next couple weeks. I'll probably have a few more reviews, and then I might take a bit of a hiatus because there are a few figures that I do not have that I would like to have, and I won't be able to show you until I get them. I'm not saying the hiatus is definite, but it might happen in the near future. So with that said, I will see you all later.